Aliens Special Edition review. So multiple times I've seen Aliens, and multiple times it's only been the ending. This time I decided to watch the whole movie. I feared I would dislike the film compared to how different the approach was from Ridley Scott's original film, as I hear it was an amazing action-oriented film compared to the film, the first film about sexual subtext. There have been plenty of intelligent action films though. Die Hard, Predator, Running Man, Rambo. How about Aliens? The special edition, at least, isn't one of them. I do like its multiple nods to Terminator, thanks to the James Cameron connection. Terminator 2 hadn't come out yet, and if it hadn't, I'd consider Aliens a sequel to that, in addition to Alien. Weyland-Yutani is basically Cyberdyne, Michael Biehn is back, and I sense some chemistry, and possibly even shipping with Ellen Ripley. Although there's no sex scene like that of Terminator, they do survive a fight with dangerous, or in this case, dangerous foes. Michael Biehn has high ranks in both films in a futuristic setting. A lot of people have remarked about the mother-daughter relationship between Ripley and Newt. The mother computer appears again. I just don't care. There's so little of that to do with the rest of the film, there's no reason for me to do it anyway. There's some interesting details in the beginning with like the dead characters, the background of when she's getting interrogated. And that interrogation scene by Weyland-Yutani is very powerful. You see the dead people in the background, in the back of your mind, subliminally shot where it's a little blurry, you don't quite see them. And then there's a great shot when they say that her ICC license has been revoked, and it zooms in on Ellen Ripley's reaction when she's just like this, and she's just shocked by what happened. And that's great. I'm not sure about the Weyland-Yutani enemies. That's interesting. They don't really go into depth with that, which I think is a flaw of the film. Like, I don't know why people thought Avatar was such a bad film, and they give so much leniency with Aliens. Aliens, these characters are really dumb too. Transformers is dumb. Bayformers is dumb. Also, Ridley Scott got way more out of his actors and character development than James Cameron did outside of Ellen Ripley, which he did do very well, by the way. You have to admit, though, in Alien 1 or Alien, we didn't know Ellen Ripley was going to survive in the end, and that was sort of the novelty of it. These characters are characters, not people. The two android theory is interesting. There's a lot of homage to the first film which are interesting, like the whole android thing. The finale again with the airlock, which after watching Alien Covenant is becoming so tropey and so expected. Like it's gotten very boring. I wish they would do something else. I like the reveal of the Alien Queen, so it's like the reveal of the original Alien in the beginning, except it's bigger and badder. The Nazi flamethrower is used again. One off-putting line, I think, which I think was supposed to be making the characters more darker and less sympathetic and more interesting, was the line about Vasquez and being an illegal alien opposed to an alien. That just came off as really dumb to me. Like, I felt like they wrote that in 1 second and then they could have cut that out of the film, but didn't for whatever reason. Like, we don't know anything about the aliens or the Spanish-Mexican relationship in Earth. They don't do anything about Earth and Alien, which is sort of the point, I guess. But, like, if you're going to bring up Spanish aliens, like, there has to be some context. Like, we can't just assume it's from Earth. Like, this isn't... That was, like, the first reference 20, 30 years earlier to Alien versus Predator Requiem, pretty much. I never watched that film, but I'm assuming they probably made a stupid alien line there too, and that's probably what made that film terrible. 30 to 40 years after this film came out, like it's still not clear what exactly the reference to aliens. I don't even know if there's a United States in this film. They don't mention much about that. Weyland-Yutani is just some generic women's manufacturer, and they don't go into depth with it. There's not a lot of disease worries. They don't really talk about that compared to the Ridley Scott film. It's not very scientific. There's not a lot of scientists or Marines. They talk about aliens and extermination of races, with Nazi flamethrower, etc. And finally, there's a lot of conveniences in this film, which are really dumb, or at least very lazily written. Like Dirk, he's like this financial type person, but he's such a parody of a character. Like, you can't take him seriously. Like, he's not sympathetic at all. Like, I don't understand his character. He's just like generic financial money guy, and they don't even explain the money aspect of the alien thing that well, which is why I think a lot of people hate the Weyland-Yutani group and why it's been a bunch of memes of incompetent company running. Also, there's a scene where he locks out the Marines. Why does he do that? Wouldn't you feel safer with the Marines there? Hence why he died? I don't think he can pilot the ship either. So what's he gonna do? Stay there with Marines there? Like, how's he gonna get the money if he's dead? Isn't that the point? How's he gonna profit if he's dead? Maybe he's supposed to be the idiot of the mission. However, it comes off more as a troll to attempt confusing audiences on how to write characters by pulling a bluff and say, yeah, that's a smart way to write it, when it really isn't. The ending with the airlock is another example, and I mentioned it before. People complain about The Force Awakens from Star Wars Episode 7 ripping off too much from New Hope, and this was no better. Worse off, it made you question how Ripley knew where the airlocks would be, or the buttons for the airlocks, and why there would be multiple buttons for it in multiple places. Like, here's the airlock button, here's the airlock button, here's the airlock button. That makes no practical sense. It didn't even come off as really funny or tongue-in-cheek. From what I saw of Predators, and I didn't see the whole thing, I would prefer Predators over Alien, to be quite honest. The Robert Rodriguez film. I felt those characters were very empathizable. They weren't too over the top. They were sort of believable, credible. I understood those characters. Those characters made sense to me. This film was sort of a mess to me. It didn't really make any sense. It made some sense, like, they did the Terminator stuff very well. They did the sequel to the Terminator stuff very well. And Ellen Ripley was a well-written character, unlike the rest of the characters. And I think that was about it. Those are my thoughts on Aliens Special Edition, and I hope you enjoyed.